Space Station.
Hi guys, it's Ben here from T-Rex Space Station. How's everyone doing? I've just finished watching a fantastic video by Lawn Voice Post 1975, who asked the question, is it fair that some YouTube channels make it and others don't? Is there a level playing field for people on YouTube? And I thought this was a really interesting question, and his explanation was fantastic. And I think most of us have thought about this at some point or other, especially if we've got our own YouTube channels. I think rather naively when I first started out on YouTube, I underestimated how tough it could be to get a channel going. You know, I don't want to call myself like overly self-confident, but you know, I felt like I can usually try my hand at most things and make most things work. I didn't think I would be a success overnight, but I thought that it wouldn't be particularly difficult. I think the last year and a half has been quite a big learning curve for me. YouTube is quite tough. It's certainly a steep learning curve and can sometimes feel like an uphill struggle in terms of getting your channel established, getting regular videos, and you know, getting subscribers, I suppose, if you want to think about the numbers of it all. Sometimes I think all of us have looked at the bigger channels and felt, oh, it's not fair, my channel's too small, but that's not really a good thought to have. Firstly, the question about whether it's fair or not. Possibly not, but you know, shit happens. Why are we so concerned about fairness and equality? I mean, there are plenty of things in life that aren't fair, but is that really going to affect how you go about your channel or how you do things? So what if it isn't fair? A lot of things in life aren't. The other point is that maybe there is a bit of fairness in that. Maybe, you know, a large part of it is that those channels are really, really good because the quality of the content they're producing is fantastic. It's original, it's unique, or it's inspiring, or very creative. I don't think that channels tend to get really big without a good reason for it, and I don't tend to feel like it's not fair that mine isn't, because that just sounds really selfish and detracts from the quality of those channels. If a channel is big, it's because they're good, and you don't need to feel sort of what sounds like a sort of jealous feeling. In you know, talking about unfairness feels like a bit of jealousy in that you know, you wish that you had as many subs as them, they don't deserve it, etc. The other thing to think about is a lot of these channels that are really big have been around for a lot longer than the smaller channels. They did it first, they did it more originally. And for those of us who've come later to the party, you know, like my channel that was inspired by Dave from Lawn Voice Post and inspired by Steve Benway, I'm kind of copying something that's already been done by their channels, and so I'm never going to be as big as them or overtake them at what they do in terms of subscriber count, because I'm just kind of doing something that's already been started and just taking part because I enjoy it. But the people who actually have all the subs and things tend to have been around from earlier on, and to have put a lot of time and effort into it to get their channels where they are. So yeah, let's not be too selfish and be thinking about fairness all the time. The other thing that I would say about fairness is that actually I think the YouTube community is very friendly and very kind to those channels that have been, say for example, struggling. In the instances where I've been subscribed to a channel that's got a very small number of views, I have tended to notice that other channels will help to give them a kind of leg up and to you know, give them shout-outs or through interaction increase their exposure. I don't think that it's completely a barren wilderness of unfairness. I think that as a community we're here to help each other out and to notice the little channels and to help them to grow. But it's not all our job, you know, some of the onus is on the channel as well. I think the other point that I want to make is that constantly looking at channels that are bigger than yours and thinking that it's not fair, why am I not big and things, makes you seem like a bit of a self-absorbed twit. It is quite a selfish thought to have. I think that the best YouTube channels tend to be by people that are really passionate about what they do and who have a drive and who create the content because that's what they like doing and what they love to do and have that kind of inspiration. As I said before, the fairness doesn't come into it. Regardless of what other people think or how small your channel is, you're going to keep creating because that's what you want to do and that's what draws people in. If you're constantly thinking about your numbers and your comparison with other channels, you're losing focus of what the whole point is. Certainly for my own channel, I'm here because this is what I love to do. I'm here because I'm bored most of the time and I don't have any other hobbies, and sometimes I don't like to go outside because it's tiring and people can be scary. But I can just sit in my room and make videos and talk to people. And, you know, that's a passion. Don't be thinking about the numbers too much. Instead, focus on what makes you tick, what you like to do, and keep going. And I genuinely, again, perhaps naively believe that if you're passionate about it and you keep doing it and keep creating through your own power and will force, your channel will grow. It just might not grow as fast as you think it will. It'll take time, but it gets there. And I think that isn't about fairness, actually. I think that I agree that there isn't just an element of luck. There's also a huge onus on the content creator to push his channel, to be creative, to keep going with it, and to bring out regular videos. The other thing to say is that sometimes there can be an overemphasis on the number of views and the number of subscribers, and I think that, you know, Swifto is a channel that I've been subscribed to for a while, and it's quite frustrating for him to have, you know, a small number of subscribers, I think 50 or so after several years. And what I said to him was to try to focus on the community and the interaction rather on the numbers, because I think that's more important actually. He still has people regularly commenting on his videos and talking about them, and I think that you need to have a community focus and an interactive element to your channel, otherwise you're just going to fizzle out and seem really sort of self-indulgent or self-absorbed. There's several people who've commented on my videos like, great video, now please check out mine, and I can tell they haven't read anything about it, they haven't watched it, they actually don't have anything to say about what's in it, they're just commenting very superficially to get me to view their stuff. That's not going to work. You actually have to be part of a community and make friends here and interact, and that's the only way your channel will grow, and the only way really that this will feel properly rewarding. So don't be comparing yourself to other people and constantly worrying about that. Focus on friendship and fun and being part of something that's quite organic, because that's really the great thing about YouTube. It is a kind of social thing too. It's organic, we interact with each other, it's got, you know, your G+ account and all the rest, and that's where the focus should be. I guess the last part of what I want to say is that I can kind of understand the frustration behind the comment of asking about fairness. It kind of reminds me of when I used to play in a band when I was younger, and we had big dreams of one day getting signed to a record label, and we used to take our CDs round to lots and lots of different places, and we would always get knocked back. Of course we would. We're not going to get signed to a record label or get huge gigs. The thing is, I wasn't bothered about that because we had so much fun playing in the band. So again, the inspiration countered the worry about other people being signed and all that comparativeness. But the other thing to say was that it made me think quite critically about what we were doing. Why were we not getting gigs? Why were we not being signed? And sometimes the reason why was because the music wasn't that unique. It was similar to what everybody else was doing. And similarly on YouTube, sometimes you have to try to think about what it is about your channel that you can bring to the table that other people can't. What are the unique aspects about what you do? You know, for me that was doing guitar covers of video games or putting up, you know, songs and things onto my channel, because that's something that other channels don't have. It was something that was unique to me that I could do. So similarly into how the frustration of being in a band made me think critically about the songs I was writing, so too you can use the kind of frustration or the feeling of your channel being slow growing to be self-appraising and to think about how you can better yourself as a channel and how you can improve things. So I guess in summary, yes, there's a big element of this seeming unfair, yes there are big imbalances, yes some of the bigger channels help each other out and are part of networks that all seem to pat each other on the back, but firstly, who gives a shit if life isn't fair? You just have to get on with it and live with it. And secondly, do the things that make you passionate. Don't worry about numbers and comparisons with other sites and things, just do what you enjoy doing. And I think the last point that I made was to use that frustration if your channel's going slower than you think it should to hone things and to work on things. If you keep pushing, I'm sure things will grow. Maybe that is a little bit naive, but you know, honestly, self-improvement, critical praise of what you're doing is all good. So yeah, be part of the community and enjoy yourself. Not that I know what I'm doing, I've only been here for, you know, less than 2 years, but yeah, those are my thoughts on Dave's video. Really fantastic video, please check it out and maybe do a video response yourselves if you're interested. Okay, take care guys, and I'll see you all soon. And Dave, enjoy your 2 days off, I'm sure you will, with a garage full of beer.